Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you all so much for joining us today. May I know who all are on the call today?
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram.
May I know who all are on the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance or glories to Srila Prabhupada, glories to Sri Gauranga, glories to all listening devotees. This is Shashidhar joining from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shashidhar Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining us and giving us your very valuable association today.
Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasni Mataji. Happy Diwali. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas. Nice to see you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining us and giving us your very valuable association today.
हरे कृष्णा प्रीति विलासिनी माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शीला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय दिस इज श्यामा गौरी देवीदासी फ्रॉम शार्लेट
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining us and giving us your valuable association and for all the beautiful chanting and sharing of screen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago. Happy Diwali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Yashomati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your very sweet chanting in the morning. Wish you a happy Diwali, Mataji. Welcome to the
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte, and happy Diwali to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji. Wish you the same and thank you for your beautiful chant.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Priti Vilasini Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln. Wish you all a very happy Diwali.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining us and giving us your very valuable association. Wish you a happy Diwali and welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, so glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Dasi Dasi. Wish you all a very, very happy Diwali.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, and wish you a very, very happy Diwali. Welcome to the call. Is there anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Prabhuji has joined, Mataji.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Hare Krishna, I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you all so much for joining us today and giving us your very, very valuable association on the call. Wish you all a very happy Diwali. And before we get started with today's class, I would like to read the quote of Srila Prabhupada for today. This is 24th October. And Prabhupada says, renunciation is required. But when one makes further progress after renunciation towards spiritual life and enters into the pastimes of Krishna, then things become perfect. Letter to Kapila Dev, October 24th, 1969. Hare Krishna, everybody. I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you all so much for joining us today. And today we have a very special class by a special speaker on a special topic. So we'll be meditating on the famous Damodar Lila today. And today's class will be given by His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. Prabhuji, thank you so much for your very valuable time and association. You can now take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapkanchana Grahhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My obedience to all the devotees for this special call on Bhakti Sangha group. So today we'll be discussing Damodar Lila, which we have been discussing since several years in every Kartik, and within this Kartik also I spoke a few times on this topic. So again, thank you very much for asking me to speak on this most enchanting Lila of Krishna, Damodar Lila. So as everyone knows the Lila, I may not get so much into the details of the Lila. I will do so a little bit, but we will discuss some contradictions in Damodar Lila. What are the contradictions? The Supreme Lord has certain divine qualities, and the Lord compromised on exhibiting those qualities in Damodar Lila to highlight one special quality, which is the quality of his being controlled by the affection of his devotees, which is Bhritya Vashyata. Evam Sandarshita Hyanga Harina Bhritya Vashyata Svavashenapi Krishnena Yasyedam Seshwaram Vashem. Evam Sandarshita hi Anga. To give darshan or to display this divine quality of Krishna, which is Bhritya Vashyata, that the Lord is controlled, captivated, captured by the love and affection of his devotees, Bhritya Vashyata. Evam Sandarshita hi Anga Harina Bhritya Vashyata. So Svavashenapi Krishnena, although Krishna is not under anyone's control, only Krishna can control himself, no one can control Krishna. And in fact, all the other controllers of the entire creation are under Krishna's control. Even the material nature that controls everything is under Krishna's control. Vayadhyakshe prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Such Krishna, who doesn't come under anyone's control, comes under the control of Mother Yashoda, because of Mother Yashoda's special bhakti, special devotion. So to exhibit this quality, Krishna has compromised on exhibiting other qualities. Okay, so we will discuss about those so-called contradictions. Okay, actually there is no contradiction in Krishna's character, because we can easily reconcile all the contradictions in Krishna's activities by understanding that Krishna wants to do anything that he wants to do just to please his devotees. Okay, so this quality of Krishna, of being controlled by the love and affection of his devotees, is described in the scriptures with the words Bhakta Vashyata, then Bhritya Vashyata, Bhaktaya Chitatvam, Bhakti Baddham. These two words are used in Damodar Ashtakam also. Right. Tadiye Shitagneshu Bhaktayar Jitatvam Punah Prematastam Shata Vritti Vandi. Tadiye Shitagneshu Bhaktayar Jitatvam. To prove to all the devotees who worship Krishna in reverence, Krishna is bound by Mother Yashoda to show that I am conquered by the love and affection of devotees. Bhaktayar Chitatvam. And Bhakti Vadham is also. I'll just close the doors because today is Diwali. Otherwise, throughout the class, we'll have to hear the sounds of crackers. So, Krishna exhibited this quality of being controlled by his devotees. Bhaktir Chitatvam, Bhakti Baddham. Baddham means one who is bound. And even Lord Vishnu says to Durvasa Muni, Aham Bhakta Paradhino Yasvatantra Ivadvijaha. I am Bhakta Paradhi. I am dependent on my devotees. I don't have swatantrata. I don't have independence. Bhakta Paradhina means I am totally independent. I cannot enjoy my opulences without the help of my devotees. This is what Lord Vishnu told Durvasa Muni. Right. So this entire universe with all the exalted devatas and controllers is under the control of Krishna, but Krishna is under the control of Mother Yashoda. So now let us see some contradictions in Krishna's demeanor, his activities in Braja Lila, specifically Damodar Lila. So how does this Damodar Lila start? So Damodar Lila starts with Mother Yashoda churning butter for Krishna. So early in the morning, on Deepavali day, Mother Yashoda gets up from her sleep, before even she gets up from his sleep, and she starts churning butter for Krishna. The reason is that Krishna, even as a small child, he steals butter from every single gopi's house. He wouldn't even get lost in his way. So generally children, when they're left on the streets, so they may lose their way back. Where is my mother? Where is my father? They will keep searching. But Krishna knows all the different routes and pathways in Vrindavan. He can do Vrindavan Parikrama effortlessly, even at the age of 2 or 3. And he knows the ways to the gopis' kitchens that even the gopis don't know. Right? How to enter the kitchen of the gopi and steal butter and steal milk. Krishna knows better way. So Krishna is going to every single gopi's house and he was stealing butter. And Mother Yashoda became very concerned. My butter, the butter that I am providing to Krishna in my home, is it not proper? Is it not tasty enough? Is it not nourishing Krishna? Why Krishna is hankering for butter in someone else's house? So that's the concern that Mother Yashoda had. That's why Mother Yashoda chose to make butter personally. My maid servants, they don't know how to make butter. They sometimes milk, so they don't know the finances of making butter. So better I personally make. So out of a stubbornness that is born out of her intense vatsalya, Mother Yashoda chose to make butter for Krishna on her own. That's how the Leela begins. So we see that Sukadeva Goswami says in the Damodar Leela, first shloka, Ekada grihadasishu yashodananda gehini karmantara niyuktasu nirmamanthasvayam dadhi yani yani gitani tadbalacharitani cha dadhi nirmanthane kale smaranti tanyagayata. Ekada, on the day of Diwali, grihadasishu yashodananda gehini, Mother Yashoda, the mistress of Nanda Maharaj's house, she engaged all her maid servants in various activities, household activities, especially preparations for Indra Puja the next day. And she personally started churning butter. While churning butter, she was remembering the activities of Krishna by singing songs of Krishna. Okay. So, why? Because Krishna is stealing butter, just to ensure that Krishna would stop stealing butter. If she personally makes butter, Mother Yashoda is making butter on her own. So Krishna stops stealing. Even if Mother Yashoda personally churns butter also, he would not stop stealing. So this is the first contradiction. Krishna is the supreme proprietor, but he steals. Krishna is the supreme master creator, operator of all the material and spiritual worlds. He is served by thousands and thousands of Lakshmis. Lakshmi sahasrasata sambhrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Krishna, although he is being served by millions of goddesses of fortune, he is Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, still he steals co-products. He doesn't steal diamonds, gold, silver, etc. He steals some milk, some butter in the gopis of, in the houses of the gopis of Vrindavan. Not that he is stealing from some multimillionaires. He is stealing from the simple, small cottages of little gopis in Vrindavan. That's simple community. Okay. And as if Krishna is poverty-stricken. Okay. So why does Krishna steal? So how to reconcile this contradiction in Krishna's activity? Hare Krishna. My video is also stopped. Any internet issue?
Yes, internet issues, Prabhu. The bandwidth was extremely low, so it was freezing a lot.
Okay. I'll stop my video then. That's easy.
Okay, Prabhu.
So Mother Yashoda, is making butter for Krishna because she wanted Krishna to stop stealing. But Krishna wouldn't stop stealing because Krishna steals with an intention to please the hearts of all the gopis. When he's stealing butter, he's actually stealing their hearts. And like the pure, soft, pristine, clear butter is actually a representative of the hearts of all the gopis of Vrindavan. Okay, so it's nothing but their hearts. So Krishna is called Hari because he steals. What does he steal? He steals butter, he steals hearts of gopis, and he also steals the hearts of all of us who are hearing Krishna's butter stealing pastimes. Okay, so this is the way Krishna steals. So first contradiction is the supreme proprietor steals. So the reason behind his stealing is he wants to steal the hearts. Okay, so all the gopis of Vrindavan, they were thinking that, oh, Krishna is stealing butter in our houses, he may not steal in Yashoda Mata's house. Let us go and get Krishna stealing pastimes to give her the same pleasure. So they come to Mother Yashoda, but Mother Yashoda's experience of hearing the stealing pastimes of Krishna from the gopis of Vrindavan is much higher than the pleasure of the gopis who witnessed Krishna stealing pastimes firsthand. So, anyways, so Krishna steals in Damodar Lila. Krishna stole And that's the background of Damodar Lila. And during Damodar Lila also Krishna stole butter. Okay. So secondly, second contradiction. Krishna is the absolute truth. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Mattaha parataram na anyat. There is no truth superior to me. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he is the absolute truth, but he speaks lies. Right? He is the absolute truth, but he speaks lies. So how can the Supreme Lord, who is supposed to be teaching dharma and morality and nyaya to everyone, himself speak lies? When the gopis come to Mother Yashoda to complain against Krishna, Krishna would lie to Mother Yashoda. No, I have never stolen. Don't you think your son is the most disciplined child in the entire land of Vrindavan? Why do you believe the words of neighboring gopis? Do you trust your son or do you trust some neighbors? So like that, our Krishna would defend himself a lot. Of course, Mother Yashoda also defends Krishna a lot. So he is absolute truth, he lies. Not only whenever the gopis complain to Mother Yashoda, even within this Damodar Lila also that Krishna is speaking so many lies. Happened in Damodar Lila, Mother Yashoda is churning butter and he wore a nice yellowish saffron cloth, means sari, and she was churning butter. Kshaumam vasaha pruthe bhakti pranadham putra snehasnuta kuchayugam jatakam pamcha subru rajvakarsha shrama bhujachalat kankana mundalecha svinnatram kabara vigalan malati nirbamantha. So Mother Yashoda wore a yellowish saffron cloth, and out of her intense motherly affection for her, was and her body was trembling. So her eyes were moving very expressive. Krishna. Her body was engaged in Krishna's seva. Her words were engaged in glorifying Krishna, singing Krishna, and her mind is engaged in Krishna. Thus, she is a perfect example of Krishna. So then she was singing about Krishna because Mother Yashoda was missing Krishna. Krishna also was missing Mother Yashoda. So next shloka. Tam stanyakama asadya mathanatim jananim harihi grihitva dadhimanthanam nyashedhat pritim avahan. So Krishna became desirous of Mother Yashoda's milk. He just got up from his sleep, came to Mother Yashoda, stopped her churning by holding the churning rod. Yashoda Mata became very impressed with his brilliance, his intelligence, growing intelligence. So Mother Yashoda allowed Krishna to drink her milk. Okay. So Mother Yashoda allowed Krishna to drink her milk, and seeing that Mother Yashoda was boiling in the kitchen while churning butter, that milk felt a little insecure. Oh, Krishna is drinking the milk of Mother Yashoda. What will happen to me? So the milk wanted to commit suicide. So the milk started jumping into the fire. So Mother Yashoda wanted to go and stop that. Okay. So Mother Yashoda was totally absorbed in her service to Krishna, in feeding her milk. And in fact, that milk feeding was continuing for a long time. Mother Yashoda was relishing this service. She's absorbed in service, but still, although she's absorbed in the current service that she was doing, she's also conscious of her future service. Okay, that's why she went to save Padmanabha milk. But Krishna was hungry. So now, third contradiction. First was that he's the supreme proprietor, but he steals. Second, he's the absolute truth, but he lies. Third is, he is a self-satisfied Lord, but he becomes hungry. Okay, so Krishna is self-satisfied. He's Atma Rama. Atma Rama means one who does not need anything beyond himself for his satisfaction. That's why he's called Atma Rama. But he became Stanya Kama. He became hungry for Mother Yashoda's milk. He climbed on her lap as if it were his own property. Of course, it is his property. Okay, and Mother Yashoda started feeding him. So there was a transcendental competition between Yashoda's love and Krishna's hunger. So the milk that Mother Yashoda is giving to Krishna is a transformation of her Vatsalya Prema. She loves Krishna so much. And all that Matru Prema, motherly love that she had for Krishna, is getting transformed in the form of her milk, and it's flowing from her body. And Krishna is like a Chataka bird, is very eager to grab that. So it's not about child's hunger and mother's milk. It's about mother's love and child's eagerness to receive that love. So mother's milk is her love for Krishna, and Krishna's hunger is his eagerness to reciprocate with her love. So Krishna becomes hungry. Although Krishna is self-satisfied, he is completely satisfied within himself. He doesn't need anything beyond himself for his satisfaction. He is not dependent on anyone, tattva-wise. Still, Krishna is hungry. So the self-satisfied Lord, Atmaram, becomes hungry. This is the third contradiction that Krishna showed in his character, in his activity, in Damodar Lila. Okay, but in this transcendental competition between Yashoda Mata and Krishna, who will win? Interesting. So it's a competition. A competition between how much milk Mother Yashoda can produce and how much milk Krishna can drink, isn't it? So a mother's body can produce some quantity of milk only, and a little child can drink only this much quantity of milk. But here, Yashoda is producing unlimited quantities of milk, and Krishna, without increasing his size like he did in Vishwarup, Krishna is just drinking that milk continuously, right? And it went for a long while. So his hunger is unlimited because Yashoda's love is unlimited. So he becomes hungry, more and more hungry. And Mother Yashoda, when she is giving her milk, sometimes little milk falls out of Krishna's mouth, forming nice rivulets, droplets on his cheeks. They're like nice pearls on a blue background. Krishna's face is bluish, right? So this whole transcendental feeding went on for a good while, and Krishna lost all sense of time. The controller of time lost sense of time, being absorbed in drinking the milk of mother. So this is one interesting contradiction that he showed. He's self-satisfied. He became more and more hungry. Then fourth contradiction. Krishna is Vishuddha Sattva Vigraha. He is peace personified, but he becomes angry. So how can someone who is peace personified exhibit anger? Generally, this anger is exhibited in Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Kama yesha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha. So Kama and Krodha are products of Rajoguna. But Krishna has no Rajoguna. He has no Tamoguna. He is not just in ordinary Sattva Guna, he is in Vishuddha Sattva. He is Vishuddha Sattva Vigraha. So the Sattva Guna in this material world is tinged with Rajoguna and Tamoguna. But the Sattva Guna in Krishna has no tinges of Raja and Tama. He is Vishuddha Sattva Vigraha. Okay. So Krishna, although he is Vishuddha Sattva Vigraha, he exhibited anger. When Mother Yashoda left Krishna, although Krishna is hungry, he is not yet satisfied with her milk, Mother Yashoda kept Krishna aside and ran into the kitchen to save that Padmagandha milk. Okay, because that milk started overflowing. And to save that little milk, Yashoda kept Krishna on the ground. She could have carried Krishna, but she thought that I have to run very fast and I might drop Krishna and that will hurt Krishna, so I don't want to take that risk. I'm just taking 1 minute break. That's all, nothing more than that. So she would come back and continue her service, but still Krishna became very angry. He is peace personified, but he is very angry. And in anger, he was shedding tears of pain. Okay. So Krishna himself said in the Bhagavad Gita, Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanam kamakrodhastatha lobha tasmat etatrayam tyajet. So he said that there are 3 gateways to hell. What are they? Kama, Krodha and Lobha. So Krishna exhibited Kama, Stanya Kama. He became desirous of milk. Krodha, when Mother Yashoda kept him aside, he exhibited anger. Lobha, he was greedy for more and more milk. So he exhibited all 3 on a transcendental plane here. Okay. So his peace personified, he becomes angry. This is the 4th contradiction. Then 5th. So what did Krishna do after this? So Krishna became disappointed, right? That Mother Yashoda neglected him, ignored him. Now don't see Krishna as God here. You should see Krishna only as a child. So just like if a devotee doesn't offer something to the Lord will not lose anything because he's self-satisfied, he's self-sufficient, he doesn't need anything. Okay. But when a mother doesn't feed the child becomes disappointed. So Krishna's disappointment is not based on his identity as God. Krishna's disappointment is based on his identity as a child, as a son of Mother Yashoda. He stopped identifying himself as God. He started identifying himself as child of Mother Yashoda. Because Yashoda Mata is not considering Krishna as God, Krishna is also not considering Krishna himself as God. Okay. So Krishna keeps aside his godhood, especially in Vrindavan. Ethamam prapadyanti tamstataiva bhajamyaham. Yashoda is not seeing Krishna as God. So Krishna is not considering himself as God. Okay, as simple as that. So Vrajavasis, Yashoda Mata and all the other Vrajavasis, they don't consider Krishna as Supreme God. But they love God more than anyone else could ever love God. That's the speciality of Vrindavan pastimes. Okay, they don't know that Krishna is God, but they love God. They have love of God more than anyone else could ever have love for God. Okay. So what did Krishna do? He became disappointed. He started shedding tears. He is condensed bliss, but he's crying. He is shedding tears. And many times in Vrindavan, whenever Mother Yashoda becomes little angry with Krishna, Krishna would cry. Krishna would shed tears. But those tears are not real tears. Okay. Krishna would sometimes rub his eyes and produce some false tears. But in this Damodar Lila, the tears coming out of Krishna's transcendental eyes were real tears. Because a person's integrity has to be tested by seeing what he does when no one is around him, isn't it? So, no one was there around Krishna. When Krishna was crying, being neglected by Mother Yashoda apparently, no one was there to watch him, but still he's crying. Means they are really genuine tears. Because Mother Yashoda had intense Vatsalya Prema for Krishna, and she's absorbed in that Matra Prema. Krishna also is absorbed in the mood of a small child, and now he's absorbed in the mood of a child who is deprived of Mother Yashoda's attention. When the child is deprived of mother's attention, the child will cry. Same thing is happening with Krishna now. Okay. So his absolute truth, he lies, and his condensed bliss, he cries. This is another contradiction. This is the 5th contradiction. I forgot the count, but you can count. He's condensed bliss, but he's crying. Okay. So he cried and he went to the next room. And in the next room, there was butter that was made yesterday. Krishna took that butter. He stole that butter by standing on a wooden grinding mortar. And he sat on that mortar, started eating that butter while crying. And then Krishna Hare Krishna. So Krishna started eating that butter while crying, and Krishna also started distributing that butter while crying. He was eating, he was distributing, he was crying, and fourth thing that he was doing was he was looking very intently here and there, surroundings, because he has committed a theft. He has done a criminal activity. Mother Yashoda can come and catch him and punish him or scold him at any moment. So Krishna is very careful about it. He was watching here and there out of intense fear. So Krishna was doing like this. Meanwhile, Mother Yashoda just set the Padmagandha milk in order, and she came back to the churning spot. And Mother Yashoda saw that the pot was broken and all the contents of the pot were lying on the floor and her child was not there. Generally, in Vrindavan, monkeys would come into the households and they would start disturbing. They would start breaking pots and doing some mischief there. But this mischief, this breaking of pot is not done by any monkey. Because no monkey in Vrindavan is expert enough like Krishna to break a pot without making sound. Because Mother Yashoda is very attentive. While she was totally absorbed in feeding her milk to Krishna, Yashoda Mata was attentive to the sound of Padmagandha milk overflowing in the kitchen. Isn't it? Now she left Krishna, who was drinking her milk, and she entered the kitchen. Can't she be attentive to hear the sounds in this room, churning room? When a pot is broken in this room, can't she hear that? She is very attentive. Here, Mother Yashoda could not even hear the sound of pots breaking. She understood that only my son has done it. My son Krishna has the ability to break pots without making a sound. Okay, so he has special mystic power. She understands that. He's expert in breaking pots. So like that, Mother Yashoda could understand, and she picked up a stick. Now I must teach a lesson to this fellow. I have to discipline him. He's getting more and more mischievous day by day. So she just picked up a stick and manifested in front of Krishna. Actually, she hid her stick behind and she was slowly walking so that her anklets wouldn't make sound. Yashoda Mata knows how to walk without making a sound of her anklets, just like Krishna knows how to break a pot without breaking any sound. Yashoda Mata is just slowly walking, and Krishna is looking here and there. After all, she's mother and he's only a son. She's more experienced. So suddenly, she gave darshan to Krishna, came in front of Krishna. Although Krishna was watching in all directions, somehow he missed that direction from which Mother Yashoda came in front of him. And this is a really special darshan. So Mother Yashoda has not given this darshan to Krishna till now. Krishna has seen Yashoda with angry eyes many times and scolding also. But he has never seen a stick in her hand. This is something new. Okay, Yashoda Mata with a stick. So Krishna very swiftly jumped off the wooden grinding mortar, left all the monkeys and ran. Where? Towards the main gate. He ran towards the main gate of Nanda Bhavan so that Mother Yashoda wouldn't catch him. Yashoda Mata is a very respectable queen of Vrindavan. She would not come to chase me in the streets of Vrindavan. So with that hope, Krishna ran towards the main gate. So he is time personified, but he flees in fear. Another contradiction we can note down. So he is time personified. So kalatmano yat pramadayutascharamah swatman rati khidyati dhir vidamiha. Even he says, Uddhava says in the third canto of Bhagavatam. What was that? Karmanya nihasya bhavo bhavasya te durgashrayothari bhayat palayanam Kalatmano yat pramadayutashramah svatmanrate khidyati dhir vidamiha. So he says that karmani anihasya bhavo abhavasyati. I'll not explain the whole shloka, it will take some time. But one point is Durgashrayo atha aribhayat palayanam. So Krishna runs away in fear out of because the enemy is chasing aribhayat. So when Kalayavana was chasing Krishna, Krishna ran towards Muchkunda's cave. When Jarasandha was chasing Krishna, Krishna ran towards Pravasana mountain. That he did for a certain purpose. But here, Yashoda Mata is running behind Krishna. Krishna ran in fear. This is real fear. Krishna is more afraid of Mother Yashoda's stick than he was not that much afraid of Kalayavana's 3 crore soldiers. Kalayavana brought 30 million soldiers to attack Mathura. And Krishna ran away, not out of fear of Kalayavana or the 30 million soldiers that he brought. He ran to wake up Muchikunda. Muchikunda, you're sleeping for a long time. Get up. Do some sadhana, do some japa. Just to wake him up, he went there. And meanwhile, Kalayavana also died. Okay. And Krishna ran to Pravasana mountain, not out of fear of Jarasandha and his 23 executioners of armies. He pretended fear there in the case of Kalayavana or Jarasandha, but here he is actually fearful of Mother Yashoda's stick. Right? He's time personified. Kalatmano, but aribhayat palayanam. He just runs. Okay. So here Mother Yashoda is holding a stick. Krishna, out of intense fear, he just ran. Yad vibhedi swayam bhayam. Even fear personified is fearful of Krishna. Even Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, is fearful of Krishna. Okay, what is fear personified? Now, as a human being, I may experience some fear. There are sparrows, they experience some fear. There are crows, they experience some fear. Devatas have some fear. Sometime, anytime the demons may come and attack us, they may have some fear. So like that, every living being in the entire universe experiences some fear at some point or the other in their life. Whatever may be the units, fear, we are not sure whether fear is measured in millimeters or kilograms or liters or whatever may be the unit. You bring all the quantities of fear at one place. And the personification of that fear, combined fear experienced by all living entities, is called fear personified. Okay. So that fear personified is fearful of Krishna. When Krishna comes there, fear personified runs away. And all the living beings are freed of fear. Okay. So completely fear. Krishna, what does he do? When he comes in front of fear personified, he doesn't take his Sudarshan Chakra. He just smiles. Hasamhare ravanata khilalo kativra shokashru sagara visoshanamathyudaram. Just by his benevolent smile, he can drive away all the fears of his devotees. He can drive away all the lamentation of his devotees. Just by giving your ears, just by giving oral reception to the sound vibration, glorifying Krishna, fear is gone. Yasyam vaisruya banayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha shoka moha bhayapaha. Bhaya is gone just by hearing Bhagavatam, just by hearing about Krishna, and that Krishna is in bhaya, in fear, right? He's just running. Here is time personified, who can create fear and terror in the hearts of everybody, but he is in fear. He's terrorized by Mother Yashoda's stick. Atanka netram. What is that shloka? Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam rijantam karambhoja yugmena satanka netram. Sa atanka netram. Now Satyavrata Muni is not even using the word bhaya here. He is using the word atanka. Bhaya is fear, atanka is terror. Krishna is being terrorized by Mother Yashoda's stick. Okay. So now this is one contradiction. Time personified flees in fear. There is another contradiction. Krishna is the fastest. What is that shloka in the Prachetas prayers? Namo namah klesha vinashanaya nirupitodara guna vayaya mano vacho vega purojavaya sarvakshamargairagata dhvane namah. Namo namah klesha vinashanaya. Krishna is known to remove all the kleshas of his devotees. And nirupita udara guna vayaya. His qualities and his names are very magnanimous. Now, main line comes here, third line. That is, Mano vacho vega purojavaya. By the speed of our mind, by the speed of our words, we cannot catch Krishna. Even great yogis, by their yogic power, cannot catch Krishna's form even within their hearts. Dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa pashyantiyam yogino. In their dhyanavastha, they are able to see Krishna's form within their hearts only after millions of years of tapasya, dhyana. Then also they may not see completely. So Krishna is faster than mind, Krishna is faster than wind, Krishna is faster than words. But here is a small gopi, little gopi in Vrindavan, right, running behind Krishna and catching Krishna. Okay, Mother Yashoda. So, Krishna is very fearful of Mother Yashoda. While running away from Mother Yashoda, Krishna is pleading. Krishna is appealing to Mother Yashoda. Mata Yashoda, please throw that stick away. Then Yashoda Mata says, if you if you are afraid of your punishment, so why did you steal butter? Why did you do mischief? Krishna says, no, I will not do that again. Please throw the stick away. Please throw that stick away. Krishna is expertly keeping some hand length of distance between himself and Mother Yashoda as Yashoda was chasing him. Okay, so he would just run and keeping a safe distance away from Mother Yashoda. Yashoda already was very tired. Like early morning, she got up and she was churning butter so vigorously for Krishna. And then Krishna came and broke some pot, and she was running behind Krishna, very tired, perspiring. Her malati flowers were falling off. Krishna is making her run even more in the streets of Vrindavan, speaking so many lies. And he's pleading. Mother Yashoda is very angry now. Okay, when somebody is tired, he becomes more angry. Yashoda Mata is very angry because Krishna is not getting caught. So Krishna is keeping some distance away, and Yashoda, as soon as she comes little closer, he would increase his pace. And when Yashoda is running little slowly, then Krishna will slow down. So like that, the chase continued for a long time. Okay, so Krishna is just running, and whenever Yashoda's hand comes little closer, he would do like this and then go. Okay, and once he was about to do that, but Yashoda Mata already caught his right hand and brought him in his captivity. So he is the fastest, faster than mind, faster than wind, faster than our words, but he gets caught by the love. Okay, Upanishads declare that Krishna is faster than mind, but now a simple gopi in Vrindavan is just catching him so effortlessly because he is bhaktir chitatvam. And Mother Yashoda had greater determination. Paramrishtam atyantato dhritya gopya. Paramrishtam atyantato dhritya gopya. That gopi with greater determination is running behind Krishna when Krishna is doing dhavamanam. Ulukhala dhavamanam. So he's running and she's also running behind. There's another contradiction. The fastest gets caught. So now, Yashoda Mata caught Krishna and started chastising Krishna. And Krishna is crying and he is fearful, and his genuine tears are mixed with the ointment on his eyes, and that's coming all over the face, and he is looking very sweet, but Yashoda Mata is very angry. Okay, whenever Krishna cries, Yashoda Mata would take her sari and then wipe the tears. But this time she's not doing. She's very strict. So Krishna had to wipe his own tears with his own hands. Right? Rudantam muhur netra yugmam brujantam karam bhoja yugmena atanka netram. So he bent his head low like a criminal in the court. In this court of Vrindavan, Yashoda Mata is the judge and Krishna is the criminal. and judgment is in Mother Yashoda's hands, she can do anything. She can cancel his milk products, his toys, playmates, freedom for movement also, and arrest him completely with the rope of her love. Yashoda Mata can do all that. Kunti Mata says in the first canto of Bhagavatam, Gopyadade tvayi krita gasida matavat yate dashashru kalilanjana sambharamaksham Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya samam vimohayati bhirapi yad vibheti. So Yashoda says, Kunti Maharani says, Gopyadade tvayi kritagasi tamatavat. This Gopi Gopi is Mother Yashoda. She wanted to punish Krishna because he has done agasi. He has done so many offenses. What are the offenses that Krishna has done? First offense, breaking pot. Second offense, stealing butter. Third offense, distributing butter to the monkeys. Fourth offense, running outside the house and making Mother Yashoda run behind him in the streets of Vrindavan. Fifth offense, speaking so many lies. You know what Krishna said? Mother Yashoda said that, Krishna, you tell me, who broke the pot? Then Krishna said, you only broke the pot. Me? Where did I break? When you mercilessly left me without feeding me milk, although I am very hungry, your anklet touched the pot and the pot broke. Okay, you only broke the pot. Then Mother Yashoda said, oh, you clever boy with clever replies. Then who distributed butter to the monkeys? Who stole the butter and distributed butter to the monkeys? Then he said that you left me without feeding milk. I am very hungry. I should eat something, right? So I took some butter from your house. Am I not authorized to take even butter from your house? Right? I am your son, right? I am supposed to take butter and I'm hungry. Monkeys came. I was distributing. Okay. Actually, I was not distributing butter to the monkeys. The person who has created the monkeys distributed butter. They deserve to get it. Okay. I'm an instrument in the creator's hands. So Krishna is giving clever replies, and Mother Yashoda said, you clever boy with clever replies, you are coming from a lineage of thieves. Your whole lineage is thieves. Then Krishna was crying and requesting Mother Yashoda to throw the stick away. And Mother Yashoda could not see Krishna in such a fearful state, agitated state. She threw the stick away, but she demanded answers from him because he was speaking so many lies. Then Mother Yashoda was chastising him, saying that you house plunderer, you monkey lover, you are associating with monkeys, you have developed the nature of monkeys, you have become like a monkey. Then Krishna said, if I am like a monkey, then I must have inherited the qualities of monkeys from my mother, not from my father. So indirectly he said that Mother Yashoda is like monkey. Then after that, Krishna also said, you are calling me monkey, then I will not stay in your house. I will go to the forest and stay with the monkeys only, because you are calling me a monkey. And at this moment, Mother Yashoda decided that this boy is too agitated, so I must tie him up. Because Rohini Mata is not there, Balram is not there, Nandamar is busy outside, and house servants, they may not be able to control him. If I cannot control, what will they control? So better I tie him with a rope in the house, so that when I'm busy with my household activities, he wouldn't just run here and there. Okay. So Krishna is condensed bliss and he's crying. And Krishna is the object of prayers. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutahastunvanti Divyaistavaihi. Brahma, Indra, Shiva, Varuna, Maruts, all the Devatas, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, all these great Devatas offer Divyaihi Stavaihi, offer great praises to Krishna, and that object of prayers is getting scolded by a gopi in Vrindavan. Okay. Mother Yashoda rebuked Krishna by saying that you are a restless boy, you are so greedy, you are hot-tempered, you are a monkey lover, you are a house plunderer. So she was threatening him that she would beat him. She would not give him any toys or milk products or allow him to play with his playmates. So he's an object of prayers and he's getting scolded. Okay. And he is getting affected by that scolding. Narada Muni tells Yudhishthira Maharaj in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam that when a demon scolds Krishna, when some atheists criticize Krishna, Krishna is not affected by it. But when a devotee like Yashoda Mata scolds Krishna, Krishna becomes very fearful. He becomes very disappointed. Oh, my mother is very angry with me. Just imagine that Krishna is a child with whom parents are upset. You need to see Krishna in that way, not the supreme God who is indifferent to the scoldings of or criticism of atheistic people. Here, love is the binding factor between Krishna and Yashoda Mata, and he gets affected. He gets affected very much when Mother Yashoda chastises him. And he is the supreme judge who he decides the fate of all these sinful people. So Krishna keeps observing. And Krishna also has his representatives everywhere. The directions observe Krishna, observe the living beings, whatever good activities and bad activities that living beings do, everything is being logged, everything is being recorded. And Krishna's super soul is witnessing everything. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tisthati. As super soul, he observes the moods and needs and activities of all the living beings, and he gives them the necessary rewards or punishments. He sends an SMS to Yamaraj. See, this guy has done this activities. You should punish him. You should throw him in Kumbhipaka hell for some time, or you should keep him in Sachimukha hell for 1200 years. So like that, he instructs. The Supreme Lord Krishna as super soul is the supreme judge, and Yamaraj is the executor of the punishment. Okay, he is the supreme judge and he's awaiting judgment of Mother Yashoda here. So Krishna is the supreme judge, he's awaiting judgment. Okay, whatever my mother says, I have to do now. Okay, so Mother Yashoda ordered. This is another contradiction. Supreme judge is awaiting judgment. Mother Yashoda told, oh Lavangavati, Kurangavati, her house servants, you bring ropes. So all the maid servants got ropes. And Krishna started yelling and screaming at the top of his voice, oh Rohini Mata, where are you? Where are you? In your absence, Mother Yashoda is tying me up like this. Whenever Yashoda becomes straight, Rohini comes and protects Krishna. But Rohini is not there. She went to Upananda's house. So Krishna is screaming. So although Rohini Mata did not come, some other Matas came. Who are they? The neighboring gopis. They all came. Not to save Krishna, but to see the fun of Krishna being chastised by Mother Yashoda. So they came there. Every day Krishna comes and does some mischief in our houses. And we complain to Mother Yashoda. And Yashoda always defends Krishna. She wouldn't punish Krishna or even scold Krishna. Looks like he has done some mischief in her house. She's punishing Krishna. Let's go and watch the fun. So when I was saying this to some children felt, oh my God, they're sadistic or what? They're taking pleasure in Krishna's pain. This is Vatsalya Prema. It's not that they want to see Krishna in pain. They are also motherly gopis. They have more affection for Krishna than their own sons. But they are completely confident that Mother Yashoda would not chastise Krishna, would not scold or punish Krishna. So they came just to see, participate in the Lila, to make the Lila more sweet. Okay, so they were surrounding. Yashoda was sitting here, and all the gopis were surrounding. They were smiling. One child even said that, Prabhu, that painting where Krishna is crying and everybody is laughing there, I didn't like it. Right? All the gopis were surrounding and they were smiling, and Krishna is just crying alone. So the child could not even digest this fact. But they also had great Vatsalya Prema. So Krishna allows his devotees to take pleasure in his so-called pain. Actually, he is deriving so much pleasure. He troubles them by stealing butter, by pinching their babies. One gopi would just very nicely decorate her house with rangolis and all. And Krishna would take dirt and throw on it. Or he would pass urine. He would pass stool there. Okay, there he is smiling and they were crying, right? Now opposite is happening. It's Vrindavan. So all these things are very common. So then Mother Yashoda made her lofty attempt to bind the all-pervading. Krishna is all-pervading. He is Sarva Desha Vyapa. He is Sarva Kala Vyapa. He is all-pervading throughout time and throughout space. And how can you bind him? Right? How can you bind someone who is so big, so huge? Now you have some small rope, some small rope of say 1 meter length, for example, like this. And with this, can you tie a big tree, banyan tree, which is like having some 10 meters radius? No, right? It's bigger object to bind than the rope that you have. Here, Mother Yashoda bought some small rope, and how big is Krishna? He's all over the universe. So can she bind the entire universe? Yes, she can. Because Krishna agrees to be bound by her love. Just in the previous chapter, Krishna showed entire universe within his belly to Mother Yashoda. And Yashoda is tying that belly. Means she brought God under her control. She brought the entire universe also under her control. She could tie the entire universe. Even for argument's sake, let's agree that these jnanis or impersonalists become one with God. Prabhupada says devotee can become greater than God. Devotee can bring the Supreme Lord and the entire universe under his control. Okay. So the Supreme Lord is all pervading. He has no beginning, no end. What is that shloka? I forgot. He is there is one. Anyways, no problem. So he is everywhere, and na chantar na bahiryasya, na purvam napi chaparam, purvaparam bahischantar jagatoya jagatchaya. So there is no inside, there is no outside. He is everywhere, inside and outside. Antar bahirabasthitam. Na purvam napi chaparam. There is no beginning, there is no end to Krishna. Such Krishna is being bound. So the all-pervading Lord is bound. You know the long story. To cut the long story short, Krishna wanted to play. He had the whole itinerary planned. I have to go to this Gopi's house and do this mischief, that Gopi's house, and break her pots. He had made a full plan along with his friends, and Yashoda is changing his plans. Right? So that Ichha Shakti or Satya Sankalpa Shakti of Krishna called Vibhuti Shakti. And Vibhuti Shakti came and manifested in Krishna's belly. And Yashoda is unable to bind Krishna. So after some time, Krishna noticed. What is that shloka? Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit swabandhani swamatuhu svinnagatraya visrasta kabarasraja. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit swabandhani. So seeing that Mother Yashoda is perspiring, drops of perspiration are coming from her curly locks of hair, falling on her face, and Krishna has seen, oh, my mother is taking so much trouble to bind me. Although she is binding so many ropes together, she is unable to bind my waist because Vibhuti Shakti is sitting there, right? How can she bind? But when Krishna became compassionate like this, Kripa Shakti came there and told Vibhuti Shakti, out, don't stay here. Satya Sankalpa Shakti, out. Okay, you can't sit here. Ichha Shakti, please stay away. Kripa Shakti is the queen of all Krishna Shaktis. When she is present, all other Shaktis have to take a low profile. They have to move aside. So when Krishna became merciful on Mother Yashoda, Kripa, then Yashoda Mata could immediately bind Krishna. Okay, so this is how a devotee's determination is greater than the Supreme Lord's desire. His desire was not to get bound, and he was defeated. His desire was not considered in front of devotee's determination. Earlier, in the transcendental competition between Yashoda and Krishna, what was the competition about? Who can give more milk, who can drink more milk? In that competition, who won? Yashoda Mata won. She gave more milk than Krishna could drink. That's why the milk is coming out of his mouth. Okay. So, there also Mother Yashoda won the game. Okay. So, here Krishna was defeated. There Krishna was defeated. So Krishna did not have sufficient capacity to reciprocate with Mother Yashoda's love. He did not have sufficient hunger to digest or accept all the milk Mother Yashoda is able to produce out of her love. Right there, Krishna was defeated by the love of Mother Yashoda. Here, again, Krishna was defeated, second time in Damodar Lila. Okay, again he was defeated. He did not want to get bound. Yashoda bound him. And there, another point also. In the middle also, Krishna was running. He did not want to get caught by Mother Yashoda. Yashoda caught. So Krishna was defeated 10-15 times in Damodar Lila, right from beginning till end. Everywhere devotee is winning, Krishna is losing. God is losing the game and devotee is winning the game. Okay, that's what Damodar Lila is. Okay, so then he's the liberator. Krishna is the liberator. He can cause mukti. What was that shloka? Gajendra's prayers. Madrak prapanna pashupasha vimokshadaya muktaya bhuri karunaya namolayaya. So he can liberate anyone. He himself is mukta. He can make everyone mukta because he has bhuri karuna. But that mukta, supreme mukta, is in bondage now. Right? He's bound. The liberator is in bondage now. The bondage of love. Okay. Although he is in a bound condition, he still can liberate. Another contradiction. Someone who is bound, how can he liberate? But he is a liberator, but he gets bound. And he retains his tendency, or he retains his power to cause liberation, while still he is in bound condition. So Krishna liberated Nalakuvar and Manigriva while being bound by that rope only. So he could not release himself from his own bondage, and he is able to release everyone from their bondage. Okay, this is another contradiction or another sweetness of Krishna. So all the so-called contradictions in this Damodar Lila that Krishna exhibited are very special ornaments of his character that completely capture and captivate the hearts of his devotees. Just by meditating on these qualities of Krishna is sufficient for us to go back to Godhead. Okay. So he's the possessor of all qualities and their opposites also. He's far and he's near. He's smallest and he's biggest. Okay. He is heaviest and he's lightest. So Krishna possesses all qualities and he possesses the opposite of those qualities also. He's absolute truth and he lies. He's condensed bliss, he cries. And he is time personified, he fears. So as we have seen today, so many contradictions. He is absolute truth, he lies. He is supreme proprietor, he steals. And he is self-satisfied, he becomes hungry. He is peace personified, he becomes angry. He is the fastest, he gets caught very easily. He is the object of all prayers, he gets scolded. He is the supreme judge, he avoids judgment. He is subjected to the judgment of Mother Yashoda. He is all-pervading, he gets bound. Okay, he is the supreme God, his desires are not fulfilled. He is liberator, he is in bondage. So like that, Krishna is the possessor of all qualities and their opposites also. So ultimately, to establish his devotee greater than himself, Krishna does all this. And one last thing, Yashoda Mata bound Krishna. And Krishna, because he himself was bound now, he is able to empathize with the bondage of Nalakavar and Manigriva. Of course, as an all-knower, he understands, quote unquote, theoretically, okay, what is the pain of being in a bondage. Okay, but here, when Krishna himself is bound, he's unable to release himself from that bondage. Then he understood that Nalakavar and Manigriva are in bondage, and he went. He dragged this grinding mortar with the rope between the trees, and he uprooted the trees. Now Krishna has given the necessary strength to the rope and to the mortar with the capacity to uproot the trees. Now the rope is not strong enough. The mortar is not strong enough. There is no comparison between the strength of this rope and mortar in comparison with the trees. Okay, trees are stronger than both of them. So if the rope is stronger than the mortar, mortar will break. If the mortar is stronger than the rope, then rope will break. In either case, trees will not fall down, right? But rope did not break, mortar did not break, trees fell down. Trees were uprooted because Krishna has given that ability. So although we may be feeble, we may be weak, we may have hundreds of shortcomings, but when we are willing to act as an instrument in Krishna's hands, Krishna will give us the necessary empowerment to accomplish unimaginable services, right? So the Nalakavar and Manigriva were liberated. They offered praise and they left. Before that, something interesting happened. Balramji came there. Krishna is just crying. Mother Yashoda tied Krishna and then she left into the house. Balramji came there and saw Krishna in this situation. He became upset. He said, "Who has done this offense to you? Krishna, tell me. I am Balaram, I am Sankarshan, I am Seshanag, I am Anantadev. I can destroy the entire universe if someone has offended you. Tell me, who has done this?" Krishna said, "Mother Yashoda has done this." And Balramji became, who was roaring like a lion, became like a cat now, right? And why didn't you tell me before? So he said that. But anyways, let me go and negotiate with Mother Yashoda. He went with respect, but he was agitated, right? Balramji went in front of Mother Yashoda and said, "Yashoda Mata, you know who is Krishna?" Yashoda Mata looked at him. "Who is Krishna? Tell me." Then Balramji said that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the source of Krishna. He is the source of Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, Matsya, Kurma, all avatars. Then Yashoda Mata sarcastically said, "Then who are you?" Then Balramji said, "I am Seshanag, I am Sankarshan, I am Lakshmana, I am Ananta." Then Mother Yashoda said, "All the incarnations in the universe have to take birth in my house only or what? They did not find any other place? Shut up and get out. If you say anything word, if you say a single word extra, I will beat you, I will also tie you up." Then Balramji just ran away. and then Balramji came in front of Krishna and said, he gave a counseling session. He said, "Krishna, I told you not to do mischief. You should not do like this." He started giving some gnan to Krishna. And he said, even if you do some mischief, you should do it in a smart way that you should not get caught. And you attempted such a great mischief without me next to you. So Krishna started crying. Balramji also started crying. And after both the brothers cried for a while, Balramji thought that I'll go and negotiate with Mother Yashoda a little more. He went again back to Mother Yashoda and said, "Yashoda Mata, whatever you decide is correct. Your judgment is perfect. Krishna did mischief and you have punished him in this way, you tied him up. But I think he is there in such situation for a long time. You tied him, you punished him sufficiently. Generally, punishment should not be disproportionate to the offense done, right? I think you can release him. If you are busy doing your household activities, I'll go and release him. Just give me permission, that's all. Say yes." Yashoda Mata said, "No." Then Balramji came out and reported to Krishna, and then Krishna understood, not that easy. When Supreme Father's mother takes a decision, he has to surrender. So here, complete surrender is expected from Krishna in front of Mother Yashoda. So Krishna then liberated this Nalakavar and Manigriva. And hearing that sound, all the Brajavasis came there. All the Brajavasis assembled there and said, and they were surprised. There was no wind. No one took an axe to cut these trees. How did they fall down like this? So they became very surprised and they came. And Nanda Maharaj especially saw a rope around Krishna's waist and said, "Who did this foolish activity? Who tied you up like this? What would have happened if the trees fell on Krishna?" That was the concern of everybody. Okay. So they were all concerned about Krishna's safety. And Krishna told in Nanda Maharaj's ears that Yashoda Mata tied me up like this. And Nanda Maharaj was upset with Mother Yashoda. Krishna is already upset with Yashoda Mata. So Nanda Maharaj took Krishna and Balaram to the bank of Yamuna. They did some puja, some rituals, and offered some charity of cows to some brahmanas. And they came back to the Goshala And at Goshala, Krishna was given milk of a cow, mixed with sugar. Krishna drank it and sat in Nanda Maharaj's lap. Meanwhile, Rohini Mata came there. And Yashoda Mata was in kitchen. She was unable to face Nanda Maharaj out of shame. She could not even face Krishna because she kind of owned the whole guilt. Because of me, this calamity has happened. So Yashoda Mata was not coming out. So Rohini came. Other gopis were consoling Mother Yashoda. Rohini came to Nanda Maharaj and spoke to Krishna. Krishna, your mother is crying. You please come. Then Krishna said, I will not come. She chased me. She chastised me just for taking little butter. And she tied me up like this. I will not come to Mother Yashoda. Then Nanda Maharaj was observing what's happening between Rohini Mata and Krishna. Then Rohini Mata said, if you don't come to Mother Yashoda, whom will you play with? Then Krishna said, I will play with Nanda Maharaj. Whose milk will you drink? Then Krishna said, I will drink cow's milk mixed with sugar. So Nanda Maharaj felt a little happy in one sense, because whenever someone asks Krishna, whose son are you? Krishna says, I am Yashoda's son. He would never say, I am Nanda Maharaj's son. So finally, Krishna is giving some attention to Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj felt a little happy. But Rohini Mata was pleading, Krishna, why you have become so cruel like this? Your mother cannot live without you. Please come, please come. Then Krishna said, why she has to trouble me like this, in this way? Then Nanda Maharaj said, see, Krishna is so upset. So now I must punish Mother Yashoda. So Nanda Maharaj took this opportunity and he lifted his hand just to show a gesture that I am going to punish Yashoda Mata. Then Krishna immediately caught that hand, brought it down, jumped off Nanda Maharaj's lap, ran into the kitchen, jumped into Mother Yashoda's lap and embraced Mother Yashoda. All the gopis felt happy, and Yashoda Mata practically bathed Krishna with her tears. And this whole Damodar Lila is simply a glorification of Mother Yashoda. Niyamam virincho na bhavo na shri rapyanga samshraya prasadam lebhire gopi yattat prapa vimuktidat. So no one could receive such a great fortune like Mother Yashoda did. So even Brahma or Shiva or even Lakshmi did not have the great fortune of Mother Yashoda. So Yashoda Maya ki jai, Damodar Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for immersing us in such a sweet Leela. So when you were talking about the measurement of fear, Raj Prabhu said it depends on the size of the stick. When you were talking about the measurement of fear, whether it's millimeter or liter, or he said it depends on the size of the stick. So we keep that in mind.
I was talking about the fear of everyone, not Krishna's fear. Yeah.
But thank you so much, Prabhu. It was very nice. I especially liked, I mean, all the contradictions were beautiful, especially the fear contradiction was very interesting. Thank you so much. We'll open the forum for questions. Radhe, you have time, Prabhu? Radhe Govinda Prabhu. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams to you and everyone on the call. Thank you for such wonderful class. My question is, can a person go to Golok while thinking about Guru or any instruction or pastime of his Guru Maharaj? And it's the same question regarding cow. Since Krishna is Govinda, he gives pleasure to cows. So will a person attain upper planets or Goloka, or he will become cow in the next life, like if he thinks about cow while living his body?
A general principle is Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So whatever one thinks of, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. Whatever one thinks of at the time of death, one will attain the destination. That's a general principle. As far as getting a particular form in the spiritual world, Goloka, Vrindavan, etc. is concerned, that's Krishna's decision. Let Krishna give it as a surprise gift to us when we purify ourselves by practicing Bhakti Yoga, and when we go to Him. Let's see what Krishna has in store for us. So Prabhupada says that a devotee is concerned about how to serve Krishna, and whether the devotee is going to Krishna or not, when he goes, what he becomes, all that devotees are not very much concerned about. They are focused on their service to Krishna. Okay, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. And can I ask you one more question or request? Can you please share some verses or verse numbers in which Krishna says that he is the true friend or best of all friends? Like one verse I know, I have heard like Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. That verse is very much nice. But like regarding this friendship, can you share some verses? I want to know.
Verses where Krishna claims to be the friend of everyone. Yeah, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, as you said, is correct. Right now, I don't recollect anything like that.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Gail Mataji.
Hey, Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, the class was like totally amazing. Thank you so much for this. One question I had was when you were describing how the gopis, they were taking delight in seeing that Krishna was finally going to get in trouble, right, by Mother Yashoda for all of his stealing and so on. But I think you also said that Mother Yashoda took more delight in seeing how the gopis were getting disturbed or something like that. Do you remember that part? You know, you were saying that Mother Yashoda actually takes more pleasure in seeing that. I think that Damodar is stealing or that the gopis are getting upset by his stealing, then the gopis, then the pleasure that the gopis get in seeing him get in trouble. I don't know. I wish I could remember exactly what you said, but it was in that part there where, you know.
This is what you're asking. What I understand is that gopis have seen Krishna stealing firsthand. They have observed Krishna stealing activities firsthand. Yes. They came and narrated the stealing pastimes to Mother Yashoda. Mm-hmm. And by hearing those pastimes, Yashoda Mata got more pleasure than even the gopis.
Yeah, that's the part.
Yeah, the reason was pastimes of Krishna are very sweet. But when a devotee who loves Krishna narrates those pastimes, the flavor increases. Sukha mukha amrita drava samyutam. So now the stealing pastimes of Krishna are mixed with Gopi's love, and Mother Yashoda got that extra flavor. That's why her enjoyment of Krishna's stealing pastimes is more.
So this is what I'm trying to understand. So what she is enjoying is hearing the love that's mixed in with the gopis' complaints. Is it? Because
the gopis say about Krishna, even their complaints are also complaints of love. Anything that they speak about Krishna is just an outpour of their love for Krishna. Hearing that, Mother Yashoda actually feels joy.
Okay. The reason why I was a little confused was because, you know, she is also upset that her son is going to other people's homes to steal butter, you know, when, you know, which doesn't speak well about her own butter.
In Vrindavan pastimes, we can relish them by getting absorbed in the emotions there more than seeing them from a pakka logical perspective. Okay.
Yeah.
From one perspective, she is enjoying the narration of the sweet pastimes. But from another angle, she is also wanting to provide the best quality butter in her house so that he would stop stealing. Okay. But the point is, he will continue stealing. And the innocent gopis were thinking that Krishna steals in our house only, not in Yashoda's house. And Yashoda Mata is innocently thinking that he will stop stealing in other sources if I provide good quality butter. But he steals in both places, and Krishna does his own way, whatever he wants to do. So now we may not evaluate these responses of Mother Yashoda too much from a logical perspective, but we accept both. Okay. She can be upset with the complaints, she can release the complaints, both. That's rasa of Vrindavan.
Yeah, beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anuradha Mataji.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Prabhu, when you were discussing, when you're mentioning about how Krishna was, taking up the role of a child, and like when you were describing all the contradiction, like he is supposed to be peaceful and yet got angry, etc. But we are supposed to see the Lila as a child, then being the supreme. You said it, right, Prabhu? And I was thinking in Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is mentioned as Achyuta, right? And where like Prabhupada also in the purport, right? Like that's what I understand, at least whether direct or not. Like whatever role Krishna plays, he plays perfectly. So that's why he one of the reason for him being called is Achyuta. Can we bring the same understanding here? Like he was playing as a child and he was acting as a child. There was no mixture with child and then being Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like here, can we think it that way, Prabhu?
Yeah, Achyuta, Krishna never fails in his attempts to please his devotees. That is Achyuta. That's good. And in this context also, Krishna is totally absorbed in his mood as a child or an infant baby of Mother Yashoda, and keeps aside his godhood so that he can completely relish Mother Yashoda's love. That is also correct. And connecting these two is also fine. He's Achyuta. He never fails in reciprocating with the love of his devotees. But one more thing is also there. While acting like a human child, Krishna also exhibits superhuman powers, right? To convince common people that he is God, and he also reciprocates with the love of his devotees, right? So both can happen simultaneously by the arrangement of Lila Shakti or Yoga Maya and all the energies of Krishna. Yes, Krishna is observed in his mood as a baby. At the same time, Krishna orchestrates his energies and Lila Shakti in such a way that his majesty, grandeur, power, Vaibhava, Vibhuti is also exhibited while his sweetness is being exhibited. Okay. So demon killing pastimes are there. Krishna is just exhibiting his grandeur. At the same time, he's also exhibiting his childhood innocence.
Yes, bro. Completely. Thank you so much, bro. Hare Krishna.
Indulekha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for such a nectarian class. It was wonderful listening. Prabhuji, I have a very quick question. You said that you talked about how Balramji came and then he tried to negotiate with Mother Yashoda. At that time, why didn't Balramji ask his own mother, like Rohini Mata, to come and negotiate with her instead? She might have.
In the books that I read, Rohini Mata's entry into this Leela is only to negotiate with Krishna when Mother Yashoda is crying. Somehow, why Balramji did not approach Rohini Mata, I mean, it's not mentioned. It may be there in some other books, but within the books that I read, I didn't find that description. Maybe Rohini came a little later. Balramji
because
came
you were talking about how Rohini Mata is the one who always negotiates between them. So that's why.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was
That's a good
so
possibility.
blissful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. And finally, we have a very beautiful comment that says, Prabhu, you spoke this class. We actually didn't hear the class, but we experienced the Leela. So that is an additional contradiction to this entire Damodar.
That was fast. Okay. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. So please bless me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class. Like how beautifully you explained about all the contradictions. So yes, we have heard so many times this Damodar Leela, but the way you narrated today, you explained today was
Simply beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu, for allowing us to meditate on this wonderful Lila on this special day of Diwali. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for making me speak on Diwali day. Thank you. Otherwise, I would have slept only at this time, but you made my time purposeful by making me speak Damodar Lila. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Any comments on the chat, Prabhu? Everybody is thanking. So thank you again so much.
Thank you very much for all the comments.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Thank
pranam.
you, Prabhuji. Koti dandavat pranam. Take us in a dham. Hari Hari. Jai. Koti dandavat pranam.
And end here. Vancha kalpataru.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। वनस्पति राष्ट्रवृंद की जय।
Hare Krishna.
जय हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, थैंक यू, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण।
Praise Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji ki jai. Bhakti Sangha ki jai. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jai Hare Krishna.
Happy
Jai
Diwali,
Srila Prabhupada.
Mataji.
Happy Diwali.
Happy